So we're going on to Paige Christie here. Now, Paige Christie has come out with a anti-Ethan Klein video, and I don't know why. I don't know why people are continuing to do this, considering the fact that what happened last time with Cruel World, Happy Mind. But she has decided to make a Ethan Klein hit piece. And I watched a tiny little bit of it, and in no way, shape, or form does she try to state that she is being non-biased whatsoever. So I'm at least going to give her credit for that, you know. But I want to take a look at this real quick prior to us getting into the brand new Ethan Klein is a racist hit piece that she made. This is just to explain to you, show you exactly the level of research that this person does, okay? We're going to take a look at her talking about the Ethan Klein lawsuit, and it's going to be her describing and explaining the Ethan Klein lawsuit to those of us who may have absolutely nothing whatsoever. You know, we may not know anything about it. Cruel World Happy Mind shouted this video out on her story. I find that interesting. Yes, exactly, Luckless. Sometimes people will forgive because they understand that not everyone will know what their pronouns are from the bat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Tims. So this is Paige Christie covering the Ethan Klein lawsuit. This is her level of knowledge.
From one person who completely shocked the world with an out of the blue album, we have another person who completely shocked the world with 3 out of the blue lawsuits. Let's get into Ethan Klein. Okay, so we should know this by now. Ethan Klein is now doing lawsuits. Ethan Klein is handing out lawsuits faster than my doctor will hand out depression prescription medication.
I think that says a lot about you than it does about anybody else.
So just to give you a brief TLDR of how this whole situation came around, Ian...
Okay, guys. Okay. For those, I need you guys to take all the information you have about the Ethan Klein lawsuits, why it occurred, and what's going on, what you know about it, and we're going to break down what she says one by one as to what her understanding of the Ethan Klein lawsuit is. And yes, your brain might hurt.
AKA iDubbbz, he did a content cop on Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein was not expecting this to be the case. I was completely flabbergasted to find out that his ex-dear friend would do him so bad. So Ethan Klein decided to do a content nuke, which is his version of the aforementioned content cop, on his dear friend iDubbbz.
Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that, guys? Ethan Klein made a content nuke on iDubbbz. You know, as somebody who watched the content nuke, I thought it was on Hassan. I don't know why I thought it was on Hassan. For some reason, there was just so many pictures and clips and comments made about Hassan Piker and not about iDubbbz that I was just under the impression that the content nuke that was labeled content nuke Hassan Piker, if I'm not mistaken, was on Hassan and not on iDubbbz. So we're 0 for 1 at this point, okay?
And decided to copyright the video before it...
Oh, he copyrighted his own video, you guys. He copyrighted his own. So Ethan put out a video and then he copyrighted himself. So Ethan is suing himself for copyright infringement on his own video. Okay. We're 0 for 2. We're 0 for 2, and it's been like a minute.
Went live as in an official copyright. Obviously, when you release original material, you have the IP and you are the copyright owner. However, if you would like to litigate somebody, you do have to register that copyright, or it's better, shall I say.
Okay, so she went in, she's kind of corrected herself. She registered the copyright for it, or he registered the copyright for it. Okay, we're like, I'm gonna say 1.5 for 2.
Have to, but it's better for your case if you have the copyright registered. What ended up happening was on the H3 snark, I don't know, is it even the H3 snark anymore? I don't even know what it's called. Is it like,
How do you not know? Just go to Reddit r/h3 snark, r/h3 snark. That's all you got to do. This isn't like some, okay.
H3, is it like leftovers? I don't know, something like
H3 leftovers? Oh my goodness. This video is 4 months ago when all of the lawsuit stuff was going on, right? There's H3, H3 Productions, r/H3 Productions, r/H3 Snark, and r/H3 Leftovers. 3 completely separate Reddit threads. Yet you're making a video on this without knowing what it's called. These people don't seem to understand that if anybody should know about fair use, is the guy who won his fair use court case. Yes, Luckless. Yes, exactly. These people are trying to turn around and be like, Ethan Klein is abusing fair use. It's like, how is he abusing fair use? Well, he's copyright striking people. Why is he copyright striking them? Because they're women. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? like, are you sure that's the reason? I mean, listen, I'm gonna just be realistic. Out of all of the legal documents that have come out, right, with denims, nowhere in there is her defense been said, Ethan is suing me because I'm a woman. My defense is I'm a woman and Ethan hates women. So that's why he's suing me. No.
God, I'm not in that space anymore. I promise you, those people are crazy. We'll talk about it in a bit.
Oh, so she's not in that space. So you were a snarker at some point. Interesting.
But on the HD Stock or whatever, they were making lists. I remember this at the time of like all of the people who were going to be streaming Ethan Klein's content nuke when it went live, basically in order to siphon views from the, original post.
Until they attacked her? Yeah, exactly.
The 3 people it is that he decided to sue who restreamed his content in its entirety with little to no commentary in order to siphon views away from his channel and away from his video was Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron. Now, I'm going to give you what I think is my humble opinion, the truth.
Okay, hold on. You're talking about, okay, we haven't even gotten into the reasons why this person is like suing. Okay, all right. I guess we're getting to opinions before we get into facts.
Casey Tron should not be there. And it's not
Okay. I'm taking bets. I'm taking bets right now. How many people want to bet the reason Casey Tron should not be there, in her opinion, is because Casey Tron has no money? How many people want to bet that the reason why she believes Casey Tron should not be there is because Casey Tron does not have money? Let's one in the chat if you think that's her case. Casey Tron should not be there because Casey Tron is broke. That's what I think is gonna happen. That's what I think her opinion is. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
not because she didn't do exactly the same as everybody else, but I've been watching Casey Tron for years. When I first started Twitch and I was like, getting into doing Twitch in the 2020.
And I bet she'll say because she's not political. Oh my gosh, luckless, that would be even worse.
I was looking at other content creators who did commentary so that I could see what the space was like before I joined. And Casey Tron was one of the first female commentators that I followed on Twitch because I just wanted to know how, Twitch worked, just getting to grips with it and all that kind of stuff and seeing how other people run their streams. And she's nothing more and nothing less than a stoner. I believe.
Okay, hold on. You don't think she should be sued because she's a nobody? That's literally what your thing is. She shouldn't be sued because her brain has been fried more than a cracked egg in an Australian summer. That what you think that because she is just a dumb stoner streamer that she shouldn't get sued? Okay. Do you not understand? Do you not understand that we still sue and arrest crackheads that commit crimes? They still get arrested. Even if they are the most low life of low life, have nothing going for them, do absolutely nothing with their lives, and just get high every single day. If they commit a crime, they still get arrested. There's no just a stoner clause in America. Like, what? Yeah, exactly, Luckless. Your Honor, I was high. I was gonna make transformative content, but then I got high. I was gonna follow the copyright law, but then I got high. I didn't plan to steal, but then I got high.
Leave, and this is just my humble opinion, and people could say, oh, you're a hater, you're an Ethan Klein hater. Yes, I am. Facts. Like, let's not have discussions about things we know, and the sky is blue, you know. I think that Casey Tron was added in so that Ethan Klein would look like he was just suing two Arab ladies. Whilst yes, Casey Tron,
that's what it is. So it's the talking point. Ethan Klein added a white lady so it didn't seem like he was being racist. That's the whole reason why he added her. It has nothing to do with the fact that she like totally lied about him and defamed him and like stole his content and said she was stealing his content and it has nothing to do with the fact that she broke the law. It has everything to do with the fact that she's a white girl. Ugh.
definitely hit the criteria. She's nothing more and nothing less than a stoner. I genuinely.
You know what's worse about that is that if she is nothing more and nothing less than a stoner, maybe she should stay in her lane. Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think that if that's all she is and all she's good for, she should probably keep her nose out of business she has no business being inside of? Klein should sue that bitch too. Yeah.
I really don't believe that a girl means any.
Unfortunately, you can't sue someone for being stupid.
Malicious. Meant any malicious intent at all. I think she was just there for collateral damage.
She literally said, well, I'm not going to say literally because this isn't verbatim, but she went ahead and she collateral damage. You know what? I will say so, yes. But the only reason she's collateral damage is she made herself collateral damage. She didn't have to get on the Ethan Klein hate train. She didn't have to use all the normal anti-Semitic, anti-Ethan Klein talking points. She didn't have to steal his content. She didn't have to react to his content. She brought it on herself. What is it about people who like, it's like getting mad at the rake for stepping on the rake or getting mad at the nail for stepping on the nail. You see the nail. You're walking towards the nail. You slammed your foot on the nail. It's your fault. Nobody else's fault. Yours. You did it. You saw it happening. You decided to engage. If you jump in with your buddy who's getting his ass handed to him in a fight, and then you get your ass handed to him, it's nobody's fault but your own. We're going to watch it for the people who don't necessarily want to support Ethan Klein. Facts, Luckless. And she said something along the lines of, yeah, there's people who want to watch it without supporting Ethan Klein. Yeah, you know, so we're going to watch it. Like, she literally told you what she was going to do. This woman here, it would be essentially if you walked up to a cop and were like, hey, man, I'm going to go rob that store right now. Deuces. And then walked away. And the cop was like, he's just a stoner. He's just a little stoner. Who cares if he robs this hardworking gentleman? Like, God, this is what extreme politics and the freaking mind worms does to somebody.
I think the whole idea is that Casey Tron will break first and she will issue a public apology, leaving the other women to the wolves. And I hope that that is the case, quite frankly, because I'm not a big fan of Frogan, and I am definitely not a big fan of Denims either. I feel like what
Why? You guys both have about the same level of IQ. You guys should be the best of friends.
What's happened is that if you are opposing Ethan Klein, you instantaneously, for some reason, have to enjoy the other side. Like, people absolutely lost their mind when I said that I don't like Hassan Piker because I find him rude.
Wait. You don't like Hassan because you find him rude? You know what? I'm going to give the nicest, all-encompassing read of you saying he's rude. And I'm just going to assume you're including all the insane shit he said, and you're just not going through all of it, and you're just saying rude. I'm gonna just give it to you. I have to give it to you, otherwise I might lose my shit.
That's not a real reason. You can't dislike Hassan because he's... No, I can. And did. Like, it's so fucking bizarre. And let me tell you, the reason that I start talking about Ethan Klein is not because I don't... I'm just gonna be real and just say what I fucking think.
You should have led with that.
Why do we give a fuck about what Ethan Klein thinks about Israel versus Palestine? Why do we give a fuck about what Ethan Klein thinks about Israel versus Palestine? Why do we give a fuck about what Ethan Klein thinks about Israel versus Palestine?
Okay, she's spitting here. I can't even argue with her. She's absolutely spitting here. You disagree with someone's take on the internet. Fantastic. Go on about your day. Find somebody you agree with. Watch them. It's that simple. It's that simple. Do you really think that it like, because it affects his family? No. Luckless, I think what she's saying more so is the fact of like, okay, you disagree with what he's saying. It doesn't affect you as a person, right? That's the read I'm getting from this. That's the read I'm getting, right? If I am like, let's say Rudy Giuliani decides to give a press conference. I disagree with Rudy Giuliani on pretty much anything and everything that he stands for. So because of that, I don't care what he has to say. I'll watch somebody else. And why is her camera gradually zooming in constantly? I feel violated. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Wake up, Ethan. I apologize. I just assaulted you guys.
Palestine. This ain't no mover, no shaker, no person who can change the world. Bitch, it's Ethan Klein.
I mean, you know, they said that about Mr. Beast until he started changing the world. Hell, Mr. Beast has literally allowed thousands of people, like 1,000 blind people to see, and they called him the devil for it. So... yeah,
he rambles and just says absolutely nothing for hours on end on a podcast whilst making really inappropriate jokes. The guy who's made sexually inappropriate jokes towards various different minority categories. This
same could be said for Hassan. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I totally 100% agree with you, Luckless. And I would use it as a point against what she's saying, but the fact that she dislikes Hassan, I mean, at least she's being consistent. She's not doing this for like brownie points. You know, I'll give her that. Or at least brownie points in the Hassan direction, right?
This is the guy who we're listening to on Israel versus Palestine, whose views on Israel versus Palestine you believe to be so harmful. If you guys spent, and I'm talking to all you motherfuckers out there who literally have no fucking things to do in your life. If you guys spent as much time lobbying your fucking government as much as you spend lobbying Ethan Klein, I swear to God you would have a better time. What are you doing?
Actually, they would have a way worse time because their lives would be a whole lot more hellish doing that. But I do agree in the simple fact of if you took your energy, the amount of energy and time you spend hating a specific creator and decided to do something with your own politics, your own government, your own local like city council and stuff like that, your life, or at least, you know, within the next decade or so, your actual IRL life would be better. Like people love to be mad, people love to be upset. So, but I'll agree with her. I mean, I dislike Hassan. I think he's an absolute piece of shit. I think he's like, you know, just this dumb motherfucker. But I can promise you this: the moment I stop, like the moment the clip ends or the video's over or something, Hassan ceases to exist to me until the next stupid thing he says. You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing? He's so insignificant. It is such a stupid thing to do. And this has been something that's been long-standing and going on for years. Bad empanada, fucking shut up. Why? Why Ethan Klein? Who gives a fuck? Who gives? If you can, do something else.
I see what you mean. I do agree that they focus on an individual, focus and hate on an individual rather than putting the effort into real change. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. That's absolutely my point. These people who spend 3, months at a time going and attacking him, attacking his family, like as if it's going to cause some massive change in life, it's really not going to do anything. What they should be doing, if they truly believe that, the rhetoric that he's putting out is bad or something, cool and fantastic. You have every right to believe that. But who's actually doing something wrong against I'm not going to say doing something wrong, but if you truly want to cause some sort of change for the Palestinians, how about you lobby the U.S. government to stop sending aid to Israel? Or how about you lobby for certain changes? Or, there's so many different things that could be done for people who feel this way. But instead, it's easier to just sit back as a armchair psychologist or an armchair quarterback and just hate somebody because, you're being told to hate someone. Put that energy, focus it somewhere else. Focus and actually do it. But the primary problem as to why most of these people can't do it is because if they were to get in front of Congress and they were to be like, listen, guys, okay, here's my idea. We're going to give all our money to the Palestinians to help them. It's like, okay, well, where are we going to allocate the money from? What does allocate mean? Where are we going to take the money from? We're going to take it from the military. It's like, all right, which budget do you want to take it from? There's more than one budget? If you're getting all of your political information from streamers, there's no way you're going to sit there and be able to actually do anything in a congressional hearing or something like that.
Elsewhere, why I'm not going to fucking spend my time focusing on one person's opinion. We all know that the world overwhelmingly stands by Palestine. 80% of us, it is our government that's not listening. It's the UK government that's not listening. The US government that's not listening. The European Union that's not listening.
God damn. Like I said, I'm fair. I'm very fair here. She had me in the first half with all the dumb shit she was saying. But here I got to agree. She's spitting. She's straight spitting. I have no arguments with her on this one. She is straight spitting. I can't find any flaws in this argument. She's saying exactly what should be said.
But we care about Ethan Klein's fucking opinion. Who cares? Who cares that a person who was indoctrinated into a certain idealism is...
Oh, here we go. Indoctrinated from birth. Oh, no. Okay, now we have an issue. He was indoctrinated into this belief. Oh, we got the anti-Jew talking points.
Is now thinking to themselves, this is the way that my worldview is. And I'm so confused when confronted by a society that doesn't believe the same as me. Yeah, that's what happens when you're involved in a fucking cult. It took me several years of not being...
and now she's calling the freaking H3 family a cult. Now we're getting back into the normal talking points. Now we're getting back into it. Oh man, she had me, man. Yeah, exactly, Luckless. She was doing so well. She was doing so well for so long. Oh, why'd you have to go and screw it up? Why'd you have to? She almost had a good point.
Jehovah's Witness for me to realize what it's like to not be a Jehovah's Witness. Sometimes being confronted with the real world will take some time to get used to. Ask any Amish person who had to leave the Amish community so that they could see the world for several years, and ask them what it felt like being confronted with a much more modern society. I bet it was fucking weird, bro. I bet it was fucking weird. So in my head, I'm just like...
And she just got them big old titties just hanging out for everybody to see, to keep them. You know what? Maybe that's why people are so easy to listen to her, because they're not actually listening. They're just watching the two melons go back and forth. SKG is one of the few places I will be vocal about. I knew she would swing back to being a monster. Yeah, see, this is the problem. She had me. In the first half, she knew absolutely nothing of what she was talking about. Then she actually starts to make a point a legitimate understanding of the world and of society, and like this obsession with hating people online. But then she turns back around and she goes, why do we care what he has to say? He's been indoctrinated from birth like all Jews have been. Like, oh God, it's just, she had me for so long. I wanted to agree with her. I mean, I did agree with what she said. She has big, beautiful Bible breasts. She had me for so long, and then she had to just turn around and ruin it.
Get over his opinion. Out of all of the people's opinions there is to, dissect. Ethan Klein is not the person. He isn't even the smartest guy. Like, it wouldn't even be so bad if he was like some guy with like untapped, wisdom. No, he isn't. He's
Who is some person with untapped wisdom though? Like, for real. Like, name me somebody who is this arbiter of intelligence that never does or says anything wrong. This is what I hate. This person who's actually lived there in the Middle East, who's experienced the racism of being a Jew, the anti-Semitism, who's experienced the hatred for being married to an Israeli, who has experienced all of this stuff. How does it just automatically get discounted because you disagree with something that they're saying, something of which most people don't even know anything about or don't even understand? And this is why I hate this drama so much, because it has forced me to learn so much about this Middle Eastern genocide, conflict, war, whatever you want to call it. And it's all been against my will. Every last bit of it's been against my will. It's the same thing as like when Bo Blacks got outed for being like trans. I had to learn about all of this stuff against my will. I never wanted it.
He's not a guy with untapped wisdom. He's a guy with an extremely large ego that is extremely fragile. When I look at Ethan Klein, I don't look at a man who exudes strength, who exudes power, who is able to, make real significant change in this universe, who has the...
Okay, hold on. But who said he was trying to make real significant change within this universe? Like, seriously, why is it that he, like, this is your assumption as to what he's trying to do. He could simply be doing this to educate somebody or to say something. You could say the same thing about me. I'm not doing anything significant to change the universe by going over, Christie's freaking video here. Absolutely nothing. But what I am doing is attempting to provide a little bit of entertainment for people, add my own well-formed, well-thought-out, non-biased opinions of the situation. I'm not up here trying to be like, guys, I Kmplxity, some rando in freaking the United States, am gonna solve the Middle Eastern conflict that's been going on since the biblical times, okay? But the people who do think this way, these streamers who think that because they have 30,000 people watching them, they're going to be able to influence a whole other side of the world into bowing down to their beliefs. It's not gonna happen. On top of it, all of them are afraid of even going over there. So that should tell you just how much they care about it. At least unlike Denims and Frogan and Hassan, Ethan actually lived over there. You can't take that away from him.
Power to do change. I look at a guy with a fragile fucking ego.
Ethan agrees with all of the snarkers on about 95% of the things about Israel, Palestine. He just thinks Israel has a right to exist and they can't tolerate that. Yes, exactly, Luckless. Exactly. That is 100% true. And it's crazy. It's crazy that these people will sit there and say genocide is bad unless it's against the people I don't like. That is their position. Genocide is bad unless it's against the people I disagree with. Then it's okay. And you know what's crazy? I guarantee you the Israeli government believes the exact same thing.
Ego. And what, we're supposed to just sit here and give a fuck about this guy's opinion? Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. There are numerous different things that I think that Ethan Klein has done that is far worse than having a fucking dog-ass take about fucking Israel versus Palestine. Quite.
Okay, but what's his dog-ass take? Can you please give me an example?
Frankly, there have been worse things that this dude has said, that this dude has done. So no, for me, for my personal humble opinion, the whole situation with Ethan Klein, how many people are so focused, laser focused on this one fucking dude and his opinion on fucking Palestine is absolutely insane to me.
Notice how they never tell you why, or they never give you an example. They will never give you an example as to why. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's had the best, takes on every little thing. No, of course not. It would be damn near impossible for that to be the case. And I've even said it before in my own coverage of Ethan. There's been plenty of times he said some really outlandishly stupid stuff, but that doesn't take away from the fact that out of everybody who's covered this, he does it in a way more, I can't say non-biased because he's obviously biased, but at least in a more open forum way where he will openly discuss or debate or converse with people who do not agree with him and people who would be okay with watching him die.
Insane. And the better energy could have been focused elsewhere. That's what I have to say about that. And if you...
But you say that, but you're making this video about him rather than doing anything.
Say, oh, well, I can hate it. I can do other things at the same time. Good. I hope so. I hope you are making more progress in the good old fucking fight that is going.
So this was her coverage of the Ethan lawsuit and a little bit about the Ethan, Palestine thing. So here's her new video titled "Ethan Klein Looks Racist, ... unironically." So here we have somebody who's going to inform us how Ethan Klein is in fact a racist, y'all. Strap in.
Suburbs of Los Angeles, Ventura.
Yes.
And I grew up, I don't think I've ever known a black person.
Really?
What? I know it's fucked up. But I've never been in a situation in my life where I've been in close proximity with black people. I've never known a black person.
Are you being serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Oh, there's no black people in Santa Cruz?
No,
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with this. Do you know how many, I want to say isolated, but there's plenty of people. I never met somebody that was Laotian until my uncle married somebody who was Laotian. It's not unheard of. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, look, hey, wow, look, there's how many times have you heard of like a white person growing up within the not the suburbs, but within like a primarily all black community? Eminem is a perfect example. Dude literally grew up on 8 Mile. Every place he went to was all black people. Very, like, his family was like the only white people around for a good, majority of his life. It's the same thing. It's the demographic of where you grow up. If you're living in a trailer park, there's probably not going to be a lot of black people there. There's probably not going to be a lot of Mexicans there. This isn't some insane concept.
I know. I'd be down to hang out with a white dude pretending to be a black person. Right. That would make me a lot more comfortable.
She's doubling down on the blackface accusation. When she called in, I was like, here's me in a charcoal face mask video called The Black Challenge, okay?
This isn't blackface, guys. I don't care what you say.
When they talk about Ethan's blackface and they're like, they're sort of defending his blackface.
He didn't actually even do it. Yeah, it's something you should consider.
Straight blackface.
What have you done?
That's blackface, okay? That's racist.
Since that video, there's been a lot more instances of their blackface.
This looks like an old racist cartoon. Straight Looney Tuning it, 1950s Looney Tunes.
But so this is just a material lie. I have never done blackface in my life.
Blackface, perfectly politically correct and acceptable.
It's not racist, it's face care. Why does everyone think instantly that it's racist?
And the only time people point to is that video. And
all right, something tells me that most of this is going to be out of context clips or jokes. Out of context clips are always going to get the same treatment from me every single time. I will assess what the clip is, but you're not going to see me make a full-on decision out of it. If it's a joke, I seriously just do not care. If it's a joke, like, is he actually doing blackface? Like, come on, all bodybuilders are doing blackface, confirmed. Doing a tan, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If him making a joke, right, it doesn't mean that he's doing blackface. If he's truly going and doing blackface, painting himself black and pretending to be black, then yeah, that's 100% an issue. I totally disagree with that. But if it's a joke, if he's like doing the face care mask and then he makes a joke about it looking like blackface. That's not blackface. I don't know exactly what needs to be like. I don't know what needs to be known about that, but that's not what it is. The other thing about it too, right, is during this, in the last month, there was a streamer, a white female streamer who unironically did blackface. Where's your video on that? She legitimately did blackface, said she was doing blackface, and told people to get over it. Where's your video on her?
Recorded. Now she's telling people he can't stop doing blackface. Material, fucking outright, full fabrication. I've done the tanning like for videos and stuff, and I found that when you try to match your skin, it's too subtle to be funny. The color I got is quite dark. It's that one. The black. It's black.
Yeah. Now there was some pushback too, and you were very adamant about this. So.
I think we should just get bronze, nice dark color pigmentation paint, and just cover our faces in it.
Terrible.
I don't know about that. Let's not do that.
Horrible idea.
We'll look tan.
There's an obvious implication there that you're.
See, there's an obvious implication that you're going to be doing blackface again. People who know that see this as a joke, they're going to find it to be funny. They're going to be like, okay, it's not actually blackface. He's not doing it in a malicious way. Intent is a huge thing. There's a reason why intent matters so much when it comes to law.
If you asked Ethan today, go on then, put fake tan on in that way as a joke. Do it now. Make a video.
No, I would not do it now. I don't. So I wouldn't do it now, and I didn't because I never did it.
You guys are bigots and racists for putting these racist remarks in your head. If you guys want to make this a racially charged issue, that's between you and yourself, okay?
Yeah. You guys have been friends with black people?
Yeah.
How many black people have you known in your life?
In my life?
Oh, gosh.
I've had black roommates, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You have a black cast member.
Yeah.
We do.
I just had to check. See how it's doing. Yep. Did you have a huge dick? I just...
All right. So far we've gotten jokes and that's about it. Not him actually being into blackface. It's pretty much just been jokes. I am probably about to get my ass handed to me here.
Okay, so let's start with the obvious. If you are looking for a middle-of-the-road, very neutral take on Ethan Klein, you have come to the wrong place.
And right off the bat, she tells you she's biased and making a biased video. You know what? Respect, but at the same time, I mean, if you're telling me you're making a biased video, you're telling me you're making a hit piece on somebody, you're telling me you're not going to be fair in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to look at everything you do through the lens of you having malicious intent, which is going to make me believe that everything you're doing is out of context.
I'm not Switzerland. I have opinions, and strong ones. So today we are going to be talking about the entire situation going on with Cruel World Happy Mind and Ethan Klein of the H3 podcast, and why that whole situation blew up in the way that it did. I know it's not just about what she said, but because
yeah, it's not just about what she said. It's also about, like, you know, the blatant lies, the misconceptions, the misinterpretations, defamation. It's the intent behind what she did. That's what's most important.
Because Ethan Klein has a extremely messy, crowded history of racially questionable behavior that he seems to think that the whole world has forgotten. I mean,
I don't think the whole world has forgotten. I think that you're just somebody who cares way too much about it.
Let's be real. This guy has done blackface on multiple occasions, smeared on makeup on tequila to look darker for jokes, fake tanned himself into...
Okay, well, you just defeated that one. It's a joke. It's not actually blackface then. It's just a fucking joke. Like, he's not actually... He sprayed Tander, then made a joke later. That's not blackface. Oh my God. The moral flagging has begun.
Into a whole new ethnicity on camera and tossed around slurs.
You can't turn someone into a whole new ethnicity just because you darken their skin. That they're still the ethnicity that they are.
As if they were punctuation. And then acted all confused when everybody raised their eyebrow. And anytime that Ethan gets criticized, all of a sudden it's context, satire, or my personal favorite, oh, it was just a different era. Yeah, right, sure, very convenient. And Ethan and Healer Klein's past is all the more important now, because now Ethan and his family are claiming to be victims of racial attacks purely based on the fact that they themselves are Jewish. Now,
but they are. Wait, hold on. They are. Do you have an instance of the Kleins going after somebody who was black simply because they were black? Do you have them discounting somebody because they're black? Do you have somebody saying that their voice doesn't matter or their opinion doesn't matter because they're black? Did they turn around and say, well, you know, you are a black child who was raised black in a black America, so you know what black people are taught at a very young age. You should be speaking out more. No, you don't have that. Oh my God. I'm making predictions. First and foremost, she's not going to show any instance in where Ethan Klein has apologized for these moments in time. Two, she's going to completely defend Cruel World Happy Mind, and the subject of her defense is going to be Ethan bad, Cruel World is okay, and just completely go over anything that she's completely look over all of the racist comments and anti-Semitic comments that she made. Yeah, he's not racist. He just hates women. I mean, come on. Exactly, Luckless. He's just misogynistic. That's it. He doesn't hate the black people. God. I mean, we can all get behind that, right? You know?
I'm not here to question or interrogate that claim. That is not my demographic to speak.
Wait. What?
Of racial attacks purely based on the fact that they themselves are Jewish. Now, I'm not here to question or interrogate that claim. That is not my demographic to speak for.
But you just said that you have strong opinions, that you have these opinions. You literally just said that. So hold on. So you have opinions, but you're not going to speak on those opinions on things that you... So you learned from Cruel World then. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you learned that if you don't have the right talking points, you're going to get eaten alive by people. So you're choosing to not speak on the Palestinian, the Israel and Palestine, because you're afraid of the backlash of it if you say the wrong thing. You know, I think that's bit shit, but at the same time, I could totally understand. I think it's bad of you, though, to turn around and be like, I have all these opinions and I have loud opinions and I'm going to tell you what these opinions are, except when it comes to something that could really get me some hate and backlash.
But it does highlight the hypocrisy of Ethan and co. calling out what they believe to be casual racism. Like in Ethan's previous statement where he stated that being called a Zionist is akin to being called the K-slur for Jewish people.
When you need to explain your reason for calling me a racist, calling me genocidal, a Zionist, which by the way, Zionist is just another slur for being a Jew.
And how he views
Whoa, hold on. But in this context, it is. Literally, people are using it as a substitution for Jew because they know if they say he's just believes this because he's a Jew, they will be painted as a racist. A Zionist is a belief. Ethan does not share the same beliefs as a Zionist, so therefore they're just labeling him as a Zionist, and everybody knows that it means Jew. It's the same thing as like if you were to go to a black person and say, you speak really well, or you're not like the others. That's straight racism, bro. Like
racism when he's the perceived perpetrator. I mean, have you ever met somebody who hates racism, but only when they're the target?
Yeah, black people. Let's not forget that there's black people who believe that black people can't be racist. I'm not a racist against black people, but let's be realistic here. I've never heard a white person say white people can't be racist because we're white. I mean, black people all the time love to say that they can't be racist because they're black. Like, come on. This is getting into race politics, and I hate it so much because there's so many clippable moments and shit like this. But I'm going to be honest. I've never heard a Mexican say, I can't be racist because I'm Mexican. I've heard plenty of black people say, I can't be racist because I'm black. So, yes.
I mean, Ethan Klein is basically allergic to prejudice unless he's the one who's serving it. This man will say racism is disgusting, and he's right. And he's been keeping the industry single-handedly alive since 2014. He's the type of person to hear a statement about his own community and go, oh my God, this is abhorrent, unacceptable and cruel and dangerous to society. But if you mention his targeted racism towards black people, he's like, let's not get too political. And that brings us.
Okay, hold on. Targeted means targeted racism towards them. So you are going to show something of him directly being racist to black people, not indirectly with a joke, not indirectly with a funny comment or a joke that didn't land, but a direct racial remark.
Just a cruel world, happy mind. She made a video about Ethan Klein and Gila Klein, and Ethan and Gila did not like it. And then suddenly he, of all...
That's it? That's all you're gonna... I hope you go into more detail, because I'm sorry, if somebody made a 3-hour video on you and implied that you were a, that you were a pedophile due to the fact that you had teddy bears and clouds on your freaking clothing, you wouldn't like it either. He didn't dislike it just because she made a video on him. He disliked it for the content inside the video. This is a poor retelling of of events, bro. Come on.
All people becomes the self-appointed authority of what constitutes as racism.
The irony of her saying this as a black woman, the most disrespected people ever. This is okay. All right. Let's see what you have to say.
The irony is so loud, it doesn't even need background music. And then Ethan invites her onto his podcast and begins to grill her about the way it is that she sources her information. And that's...
Whoa. Grilled her? He treated her with kid gloves. Did you not watch him and Sam Cedar, or him and Hassan, or him and like almost anybody else? He was so nice to her. He was so gentle to her. He could have been such a bigger asshole to her. What do you mean he grilled her?
It's fine. That's fair enough. Ask the questions. But the whole...
Then why? What? He proceeds to grill her, but that's okay. Oh, okay. All right.
It is impossible to ignore the elephant in the room.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Ethan Klein lecturing somebody else about racism. Ethan Klein lecturing somebody else about racism feels like a man who is standing in a puddle arguing that everybody should stay dry. He loves...
That's not the saying. That's not the quote. It's a man standing in a puddle arguing that everyone else is wet. Oh, God. Oh, this is tough. This is a tough one. This is really tough. You've gotten... How are you going to use that saying and you don't even know the content, like the reason behind somebody saying it? It's like saying stepping in shit and then being upset that, and then like accusing somebody else of smelling. Like, it's stepping in shit and being mad that you smell like shit. Like, okay.
Social justice, as long as the social justice is exclusively for him. He's basically like a human rights vending machine that only accepts one kind of coin. And just so we're clear, this video has absolutely nothing to do with the Palestinian genocide, because I am not...
She made sure to say genocide. She learned from Cruel World Happy Mind. But here she is. You're not going to talk about it, are you? Yeah, you're not going to talk about it because you're terrified of the backlash for it. But you who has all of these opinions, you're just choosing to not give your opinion because you're scared of backlash. You are a fucking pussy. You are the worst kind of person. This is all performative then. I'm just going to say it. This is all performative. You're riding the Ethan Klein hate train because you know that it's going to get you some bucks. You know you're going to get views off of it. But the simple fact that you're outright saying you're not going to talk about his views on this, So then what are you going to talk about? You're just going to recap what happened between him and Cruel World and defend Cruel World's position on all the defamatory shit she said?
Absolutely nothing to do with the Palestinian genocide, because I am not touching that topic, but rather the Cruel World Happy Mind situation, because that slammed directly into Ethan Klein's very public history. A history that he has been attempting to rewrite, but the internet will never let him forget. So in this video, we're going to be going through the history, the blackface, the tanning, the slurs, the jokes, the excuses, the contradictions, all of it. Because once you see the pattern, Ethan calling somebody else out for being racist kind of just hits a little different. So let's get into it. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Today's video.
So that's why you're doing it. Okay. That's why you're doing it, because you have a sponsor video and you know this video is going to get views. Okay, we figured it out.
It's proudly sponsored by Midas Merch. Now, as you know,
yeah, I don't care.
Game, it is not your typical merch. Into the rest of the video.
You know, Cruel World Happy Mind also had a sponsor in her video. I just think that's interesting.
So, as many of you guys know, I have been going out of my way not to make any Ethan Klein adjacent content more recently, due to a lot of Ethan Klein's political views that have caused quite a lot of tension online. Ethan Klein's views on the ongoing war in Palestine right now has...
Whoa. I thought it was a genocide. Now it's a war? H3 Snark's not gonna like that one.
Has been the topic of conversation all across social media. Not just social media, but also mainstream media as well. So what exactly has happened since the last time we spoke 8 months ago? Well, a lot has happened, but the context of what happened isn't the conversation at hand, but it is extremely important to discuss how we got here. So in April 2025, there was the public feud between Hassan Piker, Ethan Klein, as well as iDubbbz. iDubbbz released a content cop styled video targeting Ethan's channel, as well as Ethan's relationship with Hassan Piker. It cited various different political differences surrounding the Palestinian genocide, among other issues. Then on June 19th/20th, 2025, Ethan Klein files a lawsuit against 3 Twitch streamers. Ethan filed copyright infringement suits against these streamers, Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron, and his claim was that these 3 streamers attempted to view farm from him, the act of getting...
No. His claim is that they put out a market substitute, not that they tried to farm from him. Wow, oh my God, it's been 8 months and you still get it wrong?
Getting other people to watch your reaction rather than the original video.
Yes, that's called a market substitute, not view farming.
Ethan argues that the majority of the content it is that they used from him included large portions of time with zero commentary or little to no commentary, allegedly failing the transformative use in the fair use policy. Then, in late June 2025, Ethan Klein found himself in a situation with a journalist by the name of Taylor Lorenz. According to journalist Kmplxity of Spitfire News,
both of these people should not be called journalists. I think that it is an absolute slap in the face to real journalists everywhere.
Ethan publicly pressured Taylor Lorenz and Kmplxity to issue apologies or he would expand lawsuits. And online net citizens argued that this was extremely tone deaf and potentially misogynistic. However,
No. They didn't say it was potentially misogynistic. They outright claimed he was a misogynist for doing this.
Ethan declines claims.
That's the fact that you're using these talking points already is just okay.
Ethan declines claims that this was his tactics in this particular instance were based in misogyny. Then in July 2025 onwards, Ethan signals that there are more lawsuits to come, sparking debates about the creator economy and how this could have a detrimental effect. Ethan stated that he's not done suing creators and that the outcomes may influence how reaction reaction content is treated legally. So that's basically what has taken place, like a Cliff Note version up until now. And now we get into the Cruel World Happy Mind situation. Cruel World Happy Mind posted a critical video about Ethan Klein and Gila Klein last month, alleging that the pair had made some problematic comments, especially with
No. She didn't allege it. She outright said it. Like, what is this retelling of events? She legitimately outright said it. It wasn't some sort of a, oh my God, this is what's alleged. No, she straight up said that they had made these types of comments, but she didn't actually provide any evidence of the fact that they did.
Regards to Ethan and Gila's views surrounding the Palestinian genocide.
Like when he made fun of the man who was burning alive.
Again, not to put this uncouth, but he's a champ at fucking burning alive. I mean, that sounds bad, but he did it really good. Does that sound bad?
And what I said was he's really good at burning alive. And I mean that as the most sincere compliment possible. If you're coming at me with those kinds of takes, you are ensuring peace will never happen.
One of the main points of contention within this video was Cruel World Happy Mind's interpretation of public perception, that the pair were perceived by the public at large to have used rhetoric that framed Palestinian children as terrorists, amongst other things. Now, Ethan responded.
Wait, what? Hold on.
That the pair were perceived by the public at large to have used rhetoric that framed Palestinian children as terrorists, amongst other things. Now, Ethan responded to this video publicly on the
But they went ahead, No. She said that Gila Klein had made comments about these people, had made many comments about these people. She didn't say that other people said that they did this. She's outright said Gila Klein has made multiple comments about Palestinian children, or had made specific comments. It wasn't an implication. She outright said that this happened.
H3 show 207 by inviting Cruel World Happy Mind to come onto the show to speak publicly about her claims. During this time, Cruel World Happy Mind had made some public retractions in regards to some of the things it is that she said, as well as making a public clarification. I wouldn't necessarily consider it an apology. As well as
it was literally titled "I'm sorry." It was I wouldn't classify it as an apology either, considering she didn't really apologize to anybody. But it was literally titled "I am sorry." She tried to apologize like that. What is this retelling of? We could all go back and look at the title of the freaking video.
The third video on her second channel where she goes through the research and how it is that she was able to formulate her opinion. Cruel World Happy Mind claims that Gila, Ethan Klein's wife, when hearing the phrase that Palestinian children are raised to hate Israelis, she claims that Gila had given some non-verbal clues that kind of implied that maybe she agreed with the sentiment.
No. She said that she outright agreed with it. Not that it was some non-verbal clue. Cruel World Happy Mind literally said that she agreed with it. It wasn't some sort of, she went ahead and she tilted her head, she nodded her head in agreement or anything. Cruel World literally said that she agreed with it, that she had agreed with these sentiments. It had nothing to do with implications or anything. She was saying it outright. Why are we doing a retelling of this? We can all go watch the video. Of the 2 minutes she's cut out of her video, that wasn't part of it.
Gila, on the other hand, has made comments deemed...
Has made comments, not has implied this or made it physical implications. Has made comments. Your own clip that you're using disproves what you're saying.
Even more insensitive, like calling toddlers terrorists.
Rudy has made comments like calling toddlers terrorists. That means Gila Klein directly made a comment about these kids being terrorists. This isn't she implied it with some sort of non-verbal clue or some sort of non-verbal movement. Oh my God.
How saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
And the Palestinians are taught to kill us at 2 years old.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah. Do we have that one?
Like
that one?
What do you mean?
Look at Gila move her head to this guy saying these people were programmed at birth. Anyway, Gila and Ethan have been programmed from birth. Yeah, exactly, Luckless. Exactly. Look at them being mad at him saying that these people have been programmed. God, their programming will make them think that.
I mean,
so you said she called terrorist. She said called babies terrorists. I didn't see that.
okay.
Yup.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And immediately she retracts her statement and agrees with them and is like, yeah, no, you're right. I think it's fair. She didn't actually say that. Wait, come on, man. The clip you're using shoots away your own credibility, bro. I hate when people do this. And I mean, I like the self-felting here, right? Because your own clips that you're using to prove a point just destroy your own point. But how can you be this dumb?
I guess I would like to know what the insinuation was. I think that's what a lot of people were wondering by the I mean ... When I say deemed, so she's made comments that were deemed. So that's not me saying that she's saying that. It's others have deemed it even more insensitive, like calling toddlers terrorists. So I'm not saying that I myself am saying that she's called toddlers terrorists. I'm saying others have deemed so.
Do you think that's really a fair way, though, to like...
No, exactly.
To recount
I think
stuff, you know what I mean? Because it's clearly that's what you want people to feel from that clip.
I do think, I don't know if it's what I want people to feel or think, but I do think, as I've said in our DMs and everything, the way that I usually do content creation is if I'm going into a subject that I'm not very versed on, very familiar with.
If I'm going into a subject that I'm not very versed on and I know absolutely nothing about, I'm going to pretend to be the moral arbiter of all things having to do with that subject. That's just how I roll.
Or I'm covering essentially a content creator the way the internet perceives them. You know, I'm covering kind of the online interpretation of this content creator. So
interpretation by who, though?
Yeah, exactly. Many different people, you know.
Ethan and Gila Klein claimed that the snippets it is that Cruel World Happy Mind used were out of context, misquoting, or missing nuance. And that Cruel World Happy Mind didn't provide sufficient examples to support the broader implication of the claim.
I feel like there was really no attempts, or very few attempts, to represent my response or explanation for things. It really, I felt like, was entirely a one-sided account of things. And I mean, you claim that it's unbiased, but I also find that to be like...
Oh, I agree with that as well. But
it's a really dishonest way of framing it.
There's a few different ways you can find clips. You know, if I find a clip and it seems like it's kind of cut oddly, I should look at multiple sources for clips. I 100% agree with that. So it's like, okay, go directly from the source, you know, always, I think is, you know, going to be essentially my rule of thumb, you know, coming out of this situation. You know,
that's not what you did here. That's not what you did here.
Especially even in this, I can relate to feeling at times like, you know, even on, you know, your subreddit, I felt like sometimes the clips from my streams are, you know, have been kind of chopped up. And I think that that's been a big lesson to me as well, of I can relate to you in that. I can relate to other content creators and feel like, okay, I need to always look at what I'm viewing and go to the full original source whenever possible, 100% of the time. I entirely agree with that.
Now, when this discussion happened publicly on the H3 episode, Cruel World Happy Mind admitted that some of her sourcing did come directly from snark subs. Basically, internet commentary communities that are there not to be overwhelmingly positive with their critique.
Hold on, that's not the only thing she admitted to. She also admitted to not finding the primary source of things too. She openly admitted to only finding clips and not actually finding the primary source for it. She admitted that she took clips. Hell, she even admitted that when it came to what's his face, oh my god, I forget his name, not Big Bungie, I don't know why I'm thinking Big Bungie, when it came to that one motherfucker who oh my god, I can't believe I forget his name. Anyways, she admitted that she took a clip from another guy's video that she found in someone else's video. So she wasn't even getting secondhand information or secondhand clips. She was also getting tertiary clips. She was getting third-hand clips from somebody else that was even more cut out of context. It has nothing to do with the fact that she was sourcing from Snark. It was the fact that she wasn't sourcing from the direct source itself.
On places like Reddit. Many felt that Cruel World Happy Mind used more statements from the Snark subreddits rather than primary statements gathered directly from videos that obviously in turn will show the full context of the conversation. I hope you're following. And to many people, primarily within the H3 community, they felt as if this kind of undermined her credibility. Because again, many people felt as if sourcing from Reddit was inadequate. Now, during this discussion,
it is inadequate if you don't have the full context, okay? That's like if I was to source somebody that it said, like, if somebody was saying like black is bad, and then I just use that singular content, like that singular clip right there, black is bad, to paint them as a racist. But if you see the entire clip, it's saying black is bad for a car if you live in a very sunny state. Like it's a terrible use of a clip, a complete and utterly out of context that could be maliciously used. How is this hard to understand?
Discussion, Cruel World Happy Mind basically conceded and stated that in future, she was going to be trying to get direct sources when creating her videos, just to triple check the information it is that she's putting out there. But this also brought a broader discussion to the general public, you know, those who aren't terminally online, about power dynamics of the bigger influence.
I'm so sick of power dynamics. There's no way you're about to make an argument for power dynamics here, bro. There's absolutely no freaking way. Because he's a bigger creator, she's the one who fired the shot. Ethan didn't go after her. Ethan would never have gone after her had she not went ahead and made a freaking 3-hour hit piece on him. You're a smaller creator than him too. So if he was to turn around and make a freaking video about you, it's your fault, not his. He's making a response video. What is this power dynamic BS?
And the smaller influencer, and how audiences or communities can amplify claims whether they're true or false. Now, after that whole debacle of the debate live stream between Ethan Klein and Cruel World Happy Mind, which in my humble opinion was just a answer to us, answer for everything it is that you've said. Like, honestly, real talk.
Yes. Yeah, because she's the one who made the claims. What? What are we doing here? What are we really doing here? Like, she's the one who made the claims. They said, hey, come on and let's discuss the claims that you made. She said, okay. And then she was willing to defend her position. Like, it's no, what is this? Am I supposed to, like, I guess I'm just not understanding. What's your point here? She made the claims. She decided to come on and defend her points. Is that, like, what? Is that the bad? What's bad about that? Like,
I just don't like the way that Ethan Klein attempts to do his debates. I mean, the only person who had the ability to live source videos and information to back up their claims was Ethan Klein, leaving Cruel World.
She could have what? This wasn't like, hey, you should come on right here, right now. Like, this isn't like, oh, it wasn't an ambush. She had the ability to bring her clips, to bring her sources, to bring whatever it is that she wanted to use for her positions. She chose not to. And if that was an issue for her, right? Let's say that was an issue for her. She saw this happening and she was like, oh, this isn't good. Like, she could very easily have been like, hey, you know what? I'm completely unprepared for this. Do you mind if we actually reschedule this when I can bring in other clips where I can talk and everything like that? Like, it's nobody's fault but her own. She chose to continue the conversation. Why are we trying to, like, retroactively feel bad for her? She had a whole document for her script and sources. Yes, exactly. She spent an hour and a half going live to explain where she got her sources from, to explain, like, she went over her script. She did all of this. This wasn't some sort of, like, oh my God, she was like, like sneak attack. She had already went live for almost 2 hours talking about her position, where she got her sources from, why, like, she went over her script. Like, do you not, like, you even said that she made that video or that live stream. Like, this wasn't an ambush.
Happy Mind.
And what did she think was going to happen? That Ethan was going to be like, well, in one part of your video, you said X, Y, and Z. Can you stand on it? And she could easily have, she even said during the debate or conversation, whatever you want to call it, can you show me a clip of that? Can you show me that? Can you show me where I said that? Like, whatever.
In my humble opinion, just to be fed to the lions.
If you're accusing someone of calling babies terrorists,
she chose to get into the lion pit.
That like this work should have already been done. That's like an incredible thing to say about somebody.
Again, I did not accuse someone of calling babies terrorists. I said,
let me watch it again.
And has made comments deemed even more insensitive. Like
again, deemed by others. But like I say, I should go to the source originally, and then moving forward, and then show on screen the original post of this is what people have said. Make
I have
it
the
more
link to the original. Let's just
saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah. Do we have that one?
Like Kamala.
It felt to me like she was asked to answer for her behavior rather than actually having a good faith debate where they could.
She was asked to answer for the video she made. She made a hit piece. She claimed she did a bunch of research. Her tagline on her freaking YouTube channel is "I like research." So they were questioning her on what she said. Yes, that's what happens. If you're going to make a video on somebody, they have every right to question you on what you said. This isn't like, why is this some sort of like crazy, outlandish thing? How is this something to be even like debated? She made the video. She made these assertions. She said these things.
Could share information and come to some kind of mutual understanding. But I digress. After then, Cruel World Happy Mind goes on to Chris Kunstler's YouTube channel on his little podcast thing to discuss her feelings about her appearance on the H3 podcast. And just to give you the TLDR, Cruel World Happy Mind basically wasn't happy with her presentation on the show and wanted.
Whoa. Hold on. That is not the TLDR. The TLDR was she retracted all of her concessions, went ahead and defamed them even more, and said a whole bunch of stuff that she didn't have the balls to say while on the H3 podcast. That's the TLDR. It had nothing to do with her representation. She's the one who represented herself. She is responsible for her own representation on the H3 podcast. She had the ability to say all the things that she wanted to say. She chose not to.
To go on there to clarify her stance on Palestine even further.
I do think a lot of content creators will get criticism and they'll sort of deflect or they'll get very defensive. And I really never wanted to be that person when it came to making content. I always wanted to be very receptive to feedback. And this has thrown me for a loop in that sense, because I do think that there gets to a point where you really do have to realize that people are operating in bad faith, or that you...
But she's the one who's operating in bad faith. Oh my God, there's no way you're sitting here trying to defend this girl. She's the one operating in bad faith. She's the one who sourced from other people, not knowing at all what their intentions were. She is the one who didn't do any research to find the primary source. Like, why are we trying to retroactively turn this person into, like, pretend like this is some sort of good research that was done here?
There's certain things that you shouldn't listen to, or you shouldn't take in a very genuine way, because they're not operating genuinely. No. But I also think that maybe a lot of the backlash from the H3 fans was them not wanting to look inward at their sort of crumbling H3 empire, and the fact that they are so isolated, and not wanting to reflect on this sort of outward opinion. I don't know, like, again, a lot of people on the outside were like, oh, this video was very balanced.
Now, Ethan Klein watched this and was unhappy with Cruel World Happy Mind's response on Chris's stream, because he felt that Cruel World Happy Mind had walked back many of the statements it is that...
Why are we saying it like, well, okay, fine. She's saying it from his perspective, which is why she's saying he felt like it. Yeah. He felt like she walked back a lot of what it is that she conceded on, because she did. Hell, even in that interview with freaking Chris Kunstler, she said, I didn't concede on anything, when she absolutely conceded on every single point that was brought up against her.
She conceded on the show. Ethan Klein responded to this live on a podcast. The podcast was episode 210, where he outwardly called Cruel World Happy Mind a racist for her views on Israelis and the presumed indoctrination and propaganda that Cruel World Happy Mind is perceived to believe that Jewish and Israeli people receive.
Yes. Yes. Because she said very anti-Semitic things. She literally said that Ethan Klein was programmed from birth, that Ethan Klein as a Jew was programmed from birth to have the talking points that he does, completely stripping away any sort of, personal identification, any sort of personal belief, any sort of anything, simply saying that because he's Jewish, he was programmed from birth for this.
Have a past where you grew up in Israel and you are fully aware of what Israelis are taught.
You grew up in America and you're married to a serviceman, okay? Genocide.
What are Israelis taught? Do you know?
Gee, how's that Iraqi oil taste?
You sound
Because you fucking love it. You're bathing in it.
You sound so racist.
She is. I mean, she's mostly dumb, I think. But actually, maybe I'm giving her too much credit.
No, most racists are dumb.
Now, again, I'm not going to go into my thoughts and my views and my opinions surrounding that particular situation.
Oh, you're a coward.
I'm not the girlie to cover politics over here. Clearly, I'm not very good at that. However, that statement of Cruel World Happy Mind is a racist was outwardly fucking insane to me. And
No. It's only insane to you because you agree with her, because you hate Ethan Klein. You're an absolute moron. It is incredibly racist for her to say some of the things that she said. The fact that she turned around and said that because Gila has to apologize for growing up in Israel because she's Israeli and knows what Israelis are taught without giving any sort of description, without explaining at all what it is that she has an issue with what Israelis are taught. That is incredibly outwardly racist. Like, why are we trying to even argue this?
And it wasn't from the position of how dare you deem this as racist, but how dare you have such a strong stance against racism when you yourself have been the perpetrator of racism to various different minority demographics, including my own. Now, if you're familiar with my previous Ethan Klein videos, I will leave a playlist somewhere at the top of the screen. You guys will be familiar with the fact that I have been on Ethan's neck when it comes to that.
No, you haven't. You've been making videos on him and they've had no effect on him whatsoever. You have not been on this dude's neck. Please stop. You're not that big of a freaking content creator. Like, seriously, he didn't even respond to you.
The outward racism it is that he has displayed continues to signal towards, lies about and removes evidence of, as well as holding his audience accountable for the apology they never really ever gave. Or at least that's what I'm led to believe, because as you guys know, I'm like the Ethan Klein historian over here, and I've searched high and low, up and down for any ounce of accountability from previous streams all the way up until now, from 2017 onwards, and have found absolutely no evidence of Ethan ever atoning or saying anything public about some of the things it is that he said in the past. The things it is that he outwardly stands against now. And before
So because you couldn't find it, that must mean that it isn't there? Okay. In this video so far, I can't find a single coherent, intelligent thought. Does that mean that there isn't one in there? I mean, based on your own opinion, no.
Before the H3 foot soldiers come in and go, well, what about Trisha Paytas? Girl, for a second, let me just say this. Trisha Paytas did bad racist things too. These don't cancel out each other. Two things can be the same.
So then you should be on freaking Cruel World Happy Mind's ass as well, because Ethan doing something bad does not negate Madison's terrible freaking video. What are we doing here? What the hell are we doing here? How are you going to say that it's that way for Ethan and Trisha, but not for freaking Madison and Ethan?
Need to be able to hold somebody accountable without attributing it to somebody else's completely separate behavior. However, in episode 2010 of the H3 podcast, Ethan Klein stated that he has never and would never do blackface, which is factually incorrect.
This is just a material lie. I have never done blackface in my life.
If you asked Ethan today, go on then, put fake tan on in that way as a joke. Do it now. Make a video.
No, I would not do it now. I don't. First of all, I never did it. So I wouldn't do it now, and I didn't because I never did it. I never did it.
So let's go through Ethan Klein's historic racism from the past all the way up to present day. And you tell me if you believe that Ethan Klein is a changed man. Now, one of the things that really ticked me off about what Ethan Klein said in that live stream the other day was him stating that he has never done blackface.
I have never done blackface in my life.
But before I get into why what I'm about to show you constitutes as blackface, I would also like to...
Whoa, hold on. Constitutes as blackface? No. This isn't my truth. Okay. This isn't a my truth situation. Either he did blackface or he didn't do blackface. That's it. There's no in between here. You can't just retroactively claim that he did blackface because you believe it constitutes as blackface. He either did it or he didn't do it. That's it. It's the bottom line. This isn't a my interpretation. This isn't a my feelings. This isn't like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, why? You just because you feel this way doesn't mean it actually happened.
To state that members, presumably from Ethan Klein's community, have gone out of their way to create an entire website called snarkbrain.com. Now, on this website, they have an entire section dedicated to dispelling these claims of blackface. On here, they state the commonly agreed definition.
So you're, that's kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of funny. If there's a whole website to turn around and disprove snark talking points. I mean, I guess you could do it on, Reddit, but that's, you know what? I think that's hilarious. People have way too much time on their hands, man. But hey, if it's somebody that you like, I guess you'll do a lot for them.
Of the term blackface is dark makeup worn to mimic the appearance of a black person, especially to mock or ridicule black people. They state that Ethan and Gila have made several weird product review style videos on their old channel, which include the dumbest products ever made, gross soda challenge, and the black challenge. They also go on to show two other instances in 2016, the Kim Kardashian makeup secret, which we'll take a look at in a short while, as well as Ethan joins a 90s band, which we will also take a look at in a short while. But this is the part that I'm mostly interested, where they state the lies. The lies is that Ethan and Gila deliberately wore blackface by wearing charcoal face masks. Allegedly, according to them, this is a lie. Ethan deliberately applied makeup onto Gila in order to make it seem as if she is wearing blackface. This is allegedly a lie. Ethan deliberately wore blackface by getting spray tan. This is allegedly a lie. And Ethan deliberately wore blackface when he posted a photo with mud rubbed on his face captioned, "When she says she only dates black guys." This again is allegedly a lie. Let's take a quick look of a brief rundown of everything that is the blackface.
Okay, that one I do know absolutely happened. It was an Instagram post. But again, you're saying you have direct evidence of him intentionally doing blackface. So intentionally means that the whole point of him doing it was to do blackface. So again, if we're going to go by your own standards, you need to show me direct evidence of him choosing to do blackface. Not a joke, not some like, oh, haha, funny moment after the fact, but a legitimate desire for him to do blackface.
Face saga, and how many people have interpreted what Ethan Klein and Gila Klein have both done on their channels as blackface.
Interpretation? That's what we're going with? I don't need interpretation from somebody. What I need is if they actually did it. Yes or no. Did they do it? If they did it, they did it. If someone interpreted it as blackface, then they interpreted it as blackface. Why are we all of a sudden making these changes?
Whether intentional or not. So just...
Oh my God. No, we can't do this whether intentional or not BS. Either they did it or they didn't do it. There's no ands, ifs, or buts in this situation. Yes or no.
To remind you, in Ethan Klein's review of Cruel World Happy Minds interview, he stated,
"This is just a material lie. I have never done blackface in my life."
Now, it is considered by the majority of the internet that Ethan Klein definitely did blackface on 2 occasions. The first one being the charcoal face mask and the other one being the Dead Sea mud mask. Now, the Dead Sea mud mask photograph was taken in 2014, and the reason that people have attributed it to blackface is because of the following caption.
Attributed it to blackface. So, in other words, didn't actually do blackface. They're just attributing it to blackface. What? Why?
Ethan Klein tweeted a photograph of himself in the mud mask stating, "When she says she only dates black guys." The second video is the Black Challenge from 2016. In this video, Ethan and Gila Klein try out numerous different products that are black, including a charcoal face mask. Now that sounds completely innocent, right? However, numerous times throughout the video, Ethan Klein pinpoints the fact that the audience's interpretation of this might be blackface and makes numerous different blackface jokes.
Straight Looney Tuning it, 1950s Looney Tunes. This isn't blackface, guys. I don't care what you say. This is an actual fucking product to clean your skin. You guys are bigots and racists for putting
Literally says it's not blackface, and it is absolutely a product. Oh my god. So if we make jokes, it's all of a sudden all hands are like all bets are off. We make a joke and we're blackfacing. We're bad people because blackface bad. Why is this the situation? He's making a fucking joke. I'm not going to sit here and get upset at somebody who's making a freaking joke over it. I'm not going to be upset over someone making a freaking joke. Who the hell cares, man? And for you to sit there as somebody who wants to sit there and say, oh yeah, it's blackface, where these people are attributing it to blackface. Not that he's actually doing it, but that it's being attributed to blackface.
these racist remarks in your head. This is an actual product from China used to cleanse your skin, and that's the purpose we're using it. If you guys want to make this a racially charged issue, that's between you and yourself, okay?
Who said anything about a racial?
I know what they're thinking. I know what you're thinking when you look at me. I can see it in your eyes, yo. Don't act like...
Not in our channel. We don't do that kind of bullshit.
At one point, even his mother puts on the charcoal face mask, and Ethan Klein's father even acknowledges this as blackface, and openly says to both Donna and Ethan that this is definitely not politically correct. To which
Yes, definitely not politically correct. Wow, it's almost like moral frogging is something that people do. I'm not gonna say, listen, dude's older. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Everyone's entitled to how they feel. I'm not gonna sit there and if somebody says, oh man, I feel like that's blackface or that could be perceived as blackface, whatever. Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna disagree with you. Could it be perceived that way? Absolutely. It's obviously been perceived that way. But just because it's perceived to be that way doesn't make it so. If you said you were going to show us clips of him intentionally doing blackface, so far all I've got is people attributing what he did to being blackface. Not him actually doing blackface, but people attributing what he did to blackface. So again, it's yet to live up to it.
acknowledges the blackface again and makes a few more jokes.
Look at that face.
Blackface, perfectly politically correct and acceptable.
It's not racist, it's facial, it's face care. Why does everyone think it's only that it's racist?
Well, you know what?
I'm just trying to do skincare treatment.
Lush has a black soap.
Lush has black soap. Why does everyone have to say instantly, oh, you're blackface, racist, black
That's going to peel off. What's going to happen to your beard? Is your beard?
It's permanent.
Afraid my eyes.
It's not racist, Mom. Why do people come talk saying that it's racist? It's just black face care. She just said
no,
she was
wrong.
My God,
I didn't say
that it's racist? Please.
What did he say?
So you show him even arguing with his parents that it's not blackface, and yet you're still trying to attribute it to being blackface? Okay, I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I have too much of a brain. I don't know. If he was truly doing blackface, I have no problem saying that he is doing blackface and that it's racist. But this is stupid.
Oh my God.
Now, what's interesting about this is that 2 years ago, Ethan Klein stated on the H3 podcast that around the time that he did this, nobody saw it that way. AKA, nobody saw it as blackface.
Me and you.
Exactly. It was only retroactively became blackface and racist after Leftovers broke up, which should tell you that people don't actually care about this, that they just want to be right, or they want something to be upset over.
Hila made a video like 10 years ago on our second channel. We used to do these videos dedicated like doing all out colors, and we did a black color, one of them. So we had like black charcoal to brush our teeth with, and it was a black face mask. It was like a, charcoal mask. Yeah. It was a charcoal mask. And so I took a picture of me like with my black teeth and my charcoal mask on, and nobody thought about it for a single second until like, I guess, until my break from the conservatives. And then all of a sudden, I've been doing blackface all these years.
When this is, again, completely untrue.
Oh, okay. Is she going to show like a single instance of somebody saying that it's blackface? I'm actually interested to see this. If there's a vast majority of people who are saying he was doing blackface, we'll see.
Facebook post from 2016 to promote the aforementioned Black Challenge video, Hila Klein stated that she was torturing Ethan Klein with another video. What a big, bold, beautiful black man. I'm not gonna lie, that is definitely me when I go blackface. Then we got a...
So we have more jokes. So he's responsible for people who are making jokes. Is that what we're doing here? He's responsible for the jokes of the internet? It's the internet. The internet loves racism. Like, let's... It's a fucking joke. These people are making jokes, and they're not saying he's doing blackface. That person literally said me when I do blackface. Oh man. All right.
Nice little drawing here of a blackface caricature for black-face.com. Blackface, mama and papa bless. Blackface and chill. Not blackface, tasteful black.
Okay, there we go. We have one person. We have another people. Yeah, they're calling it blackface as a joke here, man. Is anybody actually upset over them doing it? Like, is anybody truly believing that they did this for to do blackface? Again, I'm going to go back to the fact that you said you were going to show us, you were going to show direct evidence of them doing blackface intentionally. Not that it was going to be perceived as blackface, but that they were specifically going to be doing blackface intentionally.
Blackface. So yeah, the argument that nobody saw it that way or it was never perceived that way falls on deaf ears when your literal audience are having this inside joke with you about blackface. Then in that same year of 2016, and let me just tell you, 2016 is a big year for them in terms of this kind of content, Ethan Klein and Gila Klein make a video on their channel titled Ethan Joins a 90s Boy Band. Now in this video, Ethan Klein spray tans himself a lot darker to mimic what a 90s boy band of that time would have looked like. However, at one point in the video, Filthy Frank makes a cameo and tells Ethan that this is blackface.
You look like a fucking idiot. This is fucking stupid. Ethan, don't talk to me. I don't ever want to hear from you again. Get rid of this. This
Filthy Frank. Filthy Frank is going to be our moral arbiter. Really? Filthy Frank of all people is going to be our moral arbiter here. That's who we're taking, you know, advice from on whether or not this is okay. I'm sorry, love Filthy Frank, dude's a legend, but come on.
Okay, that's blackface. That's blackface, okay? That's racist. I'm racist. What the fuck was that?
It's my tan spray, Frank.
So you can look more blackface? That's racist. Okay, I'd expect something like this from you, but is Gila on board with this? I'd expect this from you, but not from Gila. I'm disappointed.
I thought it was okay.
It's just a tan.
That's blackface.
So it's a no then?
It's an absolute big fat fucking no.
That's what I think about your shit, dude. Fuck you, man. It's not blackface. It's fucking bronzer.
Okay, this is so obvious a freaking joke between the two of them. Why are we pretending like this is something other than that? Why is this being, why are you using this? It's an obvious skit between the two of them.
Now again, I'm not stupid. I know this is a joke. This is simply just
Oh my God. Oh my God. No, I know it's a joke, but it's how I feel. So yes, I'm going to use it against him. You're
an acknowledgement and a disparaging joke surrounding blackface. Now, would I personally say that this is Ethan Klein doing blackface? No.
Are you serious? Then why have you spent all this time saying that it is him doing blackface? What? How can you just spend all this time trying to show like, oh, well, this is him doing blackface. This is obviously him doing blackface. We have to go ahead and this is Filthy Frank calling him out for blackface when you know it's a freaking joke. And now you're sitting in here and saying, no, I don't believe that this is blackface. This is an obvious joke. What even is this video at this point then?
Because he's trying to mimic a white boy who's trying to be tan. But the joke, the heart of the joke is blackface. Is hee hee ha ha look.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So this is all this is your joke offended me, so I'm correct. Your joke offended me, so I'm upset. I'm correct. That's what this is. I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
Look at what I can get away with doing. Now, next up in 2016, we then have the Beauty Project, where Ethan and Gila try out various different beauty products. One of them being a mouth exerciser contraption that has over-exaggerated lips.
So how does this work? How does this make
So
you younger?
I think you try to like open your eyes out.
Like this?
Try to close your lips.
This looks like an old racist cartoon. You look like a cartoon character.
Now, again, I would not say that this is an instance of blackface, but what I will...
Then why is it here? So your whole thing is, guys, I'm going to show you instances of them being and doing blackface intentionally. 100% they're intentionally doing blackface, but everything I show you is going to be completely and utterly explainable as a joke. It's not actually blackface. I don't even think it's blackface, but you, the audience, could use this to say that they're doing black. What? You know what? We're going to full we're going back to old school here. I need to put full concentration on this one. All right, let's go. I have what, freaking 24 more minutes left of this, and then I'll probably end up calling the stream there. But this is absolutely insane. How are you gonna sit there and be like, this is also a joke? This also isn't blackface in my own opinion, but yet you're saying that you are going to show us him intentionally doing blackface.
I will say is this was a very odd joke to make, edit, review, and then
It's
post.
a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Just because you disagree with the joke, just because you don't like the joke, doesn't make it racist, doesn't make it what you want it to be, doesn't mean it's a bad joke. There has been many a people, many a comedians who have made jokes and they were not funny. I did not find it racist. I didn't find it to be a bad joke, just not a funny joke for me.
In your video. Next up, in that same year of 2016, we have another video titled Kim Kardashian's Makeup Secret, where Ethan and Gila Klein sit down to follow a makeup tutorial to look like Kim Kardashian. Now, in this video, it's perceived, to me at least, that Ethan is going out of his way not to follow the tutorial in any real capacity. And as a result of this, Gila Klein's complexion is a lot darker than what was expected.
Straight blackface.
What have you done?
Yo, look at the camera and don't tell me that you're not more beautiful than ever before.
I guess it's more like a tan look, you know?
Like, on the camera, it really works, and it's definitely not blackface.
Now, again, would I say that this was an outward example of blackface? No.
Then show me one. Then show me one. Show me an outward example of them doing blackface. Show me one. Just one. This has been 34, almost 35 minutes of this isn't blackface. This isn't blackface, guys. I don't think it's blackface. Other people think it's blackface, but it's not actually blackface. I don't think it's blackface. It's just a bad joke. What?
But blackface jokes were included. Because again, the joke is, how far can we go? How far can we push the envelope before we actually start getting called out for stuff? Now, next up in 2016, again, we have Whiteface Man. Now, let me tell you that this particular video is absolutely disgusting. And not because it's blackface, because Ethan Klein decides to go against the grain and do whiteface. But what's funny about doing whiteface? I hear you hark in the distance. Well, the jokes that are included in this video are all at the expense of people of color. Now, the video is titled MTV Hates White People, and it's no longer available on the H3 platform. However, it has been extensively archived. 2 minutes in, Ethan Klein makes a joke about Mexican people and states that he can say whatever he wants because he's in whiteface.
2017 resolutions for white guys. How do you think the alternate version of these videos would go over? 2017 resolution for black guys. 2017 resolution for Mexicans. Stay tuned. Things are going to get spicy, literally, because they like spicy food.
We do.
It's okay. I can say whatever I want. I'm in whiteface.
5 minutes in.
Yes, he can. As a Mexican, I'm going to turn around and say, absolutely, he can make whatever freaking racially motivated joke he wants. I don't fucking care because I'm not freaking, I don't live my life as a victim. If somebody wants to, you know what? I don't care if you're white, Mexican, Chinese, you could be an alien, you could be a worm, you could be a bird. If you make a joke about Mexicans, it's funny. Ralphie May did it plenty of times. Massively white person. He was literally grew up in like Arkansas and he made jokes about being white all the time. You know what? One of his more popular Mexican jokes was, what is a wedding gift? What is like the best wedding gift for a Mexican family or for a Mexican wedding gift? Shoes for a 2-year-old, implying that Mexicans typically will get together and only get married, like will not have the money to get married and we'll have kids instead. Like it's a funny joke. It's a joke. I'm losing it. I'm seriously losing it. I got 21 more minutes of this.
And he makes a joke about being woke and then attempts to do the quote unquote black man shoulder lean walk and even directly references this move as hip hop.
How woke am I right now?
Your face left.
What? This is the face of a woke ass white man. Get on my level, bitch. That's a hip hop dance. I just appropriated your culture, bitch.
Now, this particular video,
it's a joke. It was totally well received at the time. Well, not totally. Obviously, there's going to be people who are upset about it. It is a joke. Plenty of people have done it. Hell, even T-Rex, a black comedian, has made jokes about this type of stuff. Black people have made jokes about the pimp walk. Like, why is this? Mexican people have made jokes about the pimp walk. White people have made jokes about the pimp walk. I mean, come on, and called it hip hop or hip hop people or basketball Americans. Like, there is so many. It's just a joke. Just because you don't find it funny doesn't mean it's racist.
MTV Hates White People was about a video that was made by MTV with a list of things that white people can do better in 2017. However, the numerous different people of color that were included in this video made a joke about Kanye West, saying, "White people, you can keep Kanye West." Ethan Klein then goes on to make a joke about excommunicating one of your own kind when speaking about Kanye West and his affiliation to Trump.
Feel free to take Kanye West, though. You guys can have him.
You know what you did, Kanye. So let me get this straight.
So you don't have a problem with these people doing satire, but it's bad when Ethan does it. Okay.
In a video talking about how racist white people are, you've suggested excommunicating one of your own kind for meeting with the president-elect.
Now, just to be clear, I'm not critiquing this because of Ethan Klein's stance of Kanye West in 2016, because I believe in 2016, Kanye West was way less problematic than he is today. I'm mainly critiquing the joke of excommunicating one of your own kind. What does that even mean, Ethan?
It means that as black people, they excommunicated another black person. That's literally what it means. One of their own kind, one of their own people. It's the same way that Mexicans who voted for Trump and the deportation of Mexicans went ahead and said, y'all voted for that. Y'all don't have the right to be upset. You voted for your own kind to be deported, which they did. And it happened. It is currently happening. What? I'm losing my brain here. I'm losing my fucking brain here, dude.
But this isn't the first time that we saw the appearance of Whiteface Man. We also saw him again in 2017 in the digital blackface video.
Whiteface Man. Hila, don't you think that's a little insensitive?
What?
I mean, you're Middle Eastern.
Oh God! All right, that's that got me. That fucking got me.
You're not really white, so I don't know that it's exactly appropriate for you to be in whiteface. Isn't that a little too white, Hila?
I don't know. I just wanted to.
This is digital whiteface, Hila.
This is not digital.
It's literal whiteface, Hila.
And then we saw this character again in a video titled The Return of Whiteface Man.
This is Whiteface Man bidding you adieu. And I apologize to all the French people out there who are offended by my use of the A word, adieu.
Good shoot, Hila. That one really... Seriously?
Real good.
Seriously, Hila?
I did Silverface.
Silverface? That's so offensive. Now, but you're going to offend white people and black people and Smurfs because it looks more blue than silver.
Last time you said I couldn't do white.
Oh, dude, this is so messy.
This is just people getting upset over jokes that they just want to be included. They want to be victims. They want to be upset. They want to be mad. This is just pathetic, bro. This is absolutely asinine and pathetic.
Stop. I cannot believe you would put on Silverface.
Why can't I do Silverface?
I don't know that this video is going to work anymore. That's so racist, Hila. I'm so offended right now.
Now, obviously, this can never be attributed to blackface because it's quite clear that what we are looking at is whiteface. But I just find it so incredibly interesting that whilst in whiteface, the jokes are about people of color. Now, one of the...
Okay. I can't anymore. I can't. She just wants to be upset. That's all it is. She just wants to be upset. She wants you to be upset over jokes. She wants you to believe that just because you are offended by a joke or that you don't find the joke funny, that it's racist. And it's not. It's absolutely not. There's almost 18 minutes left in this video. I'm not finishing it. I can't. I'm done. I'm done. This video started out with that she made the declaration that she was going to show him intentionally doing blackface, and everything she's shown so far, she has herself said she does not attribute it to blackface. She does not believe it is blackface, and that she knows it's a joke. Enough said, man. Enough said. I'm done. I'm so done. with this bullshit, man. It's these types of people, it's these types of videos, this type of rhetoric, this type of mindset, this freaking mind virus here that makes people go to the opposition. Because we want, as somebody like myself who believes that yes, trans people have a right to exist, they should be able to do whatever they want, they should be able to, or not do whatever they want, let me rephrase that. They should not have to go through life being attacked or gone after because they're trans or anything. But when I see shit like this, or race, or like freaking the desire to be a victim like this, it makes me just hate these types of people. It makes me hate this side. And I know not everyone on the left is like this. Not everyone on the left is extreme, just as I know not everyone on the right is extreme and completely idiotic and moronic and stupid and asinine and all of these other colorful words that I could use. But when somebody like this rises to prominence and makes absolute dog shit videos like this, defeating their own point throughout the entirety of the video, it makes me hate these types of people. It absolutely makes me hate these types of people. And anybody who agrees with them, anybody who follows them, anybody who is subscribed to them and uses them as a talking point, I'm done. This is probably the first time I have ever chosen to not finish a video because I just cannot stand it anymore. So, I'm good. I appreciate everybody who came out with me and watched with me and shared their opinions in chat. I appreciate all of you. Much love to everybody.